Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello everyone and welcome into the Tarmac Esports Studio 8. It is now week 2 after Daytona International Speedway was an eventful one, an exciting one. And I've got Patrick Day alongside again. I've got Chris Miller also. Guys, how you doing on this Wednesday before the race?
Good, I'm pumped. I got Daytona behind me. It's time for the season to start for me.
How about you, Chris? Looks like Chris may be froze. What's new?
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm back, so I think you guys can probably hear me now.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Well, I mean, I remembered to unmute today, and then look, I still froze up. So sorry about that. But hey, we're back. It's week 2. It's going to be a big change for Miller Time. We're going to a lot smaller track here with the 1 mile New Hampshire, and we haven't seen that for quite some time in the truck series. So it's going to be interesting. We got a lot bigger field. I think we had 33 drivers last week show up out of the 40-car field. So if we have that number again tonight, should be a really interesting event.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk a little bit more about New Hampshire here in just a few minutes. But let's go into what we've seen there at Daytona International Speedway. I thought it was some great racing early on in that one. Some really close racing. And actually, if I went back and I looked at some of the times early in, and the fastest laps was turned early in, like laps 3 and 4. Most everyone's best lap was early in. So the pack was really tight, and it was fast out there early on. And everyone kept their cool and composure, and we went green flag for, 12 laps, 13 laps before we got our first caution. And then cautions may have stacked a little bit here and there. We ended up with, I think, 7 cautions throughout the night. But the Daytona 125 did not disappoint. I had a great time calling it, as Ernie Williams in the number 91, he gets the victory. And so he's starting out the season really, really good, sitting first in the points. He led just 4 laps there at Daytona International Speedway, and his teammate behind him, Nate Davis, helped him get that win, because we had a green-white checkered on the start there, and there was a wreck, and the field was froze, and that's how it ended. And Nate Davis just stayed behind his teammate, and so Ernie Williams gets the win in the 91 machine. Guys, what do you think the win from Ernie Williams, and what do you think about the teammate and the camaraderie right there to go 1-2?
Yeah, so they definitely positioned themselves in the right spots at the right time. Lady Luck was smiling, right? So good on them. Way to feed their way through those wrecks. Yeah, I mean, it's Daytona. I had a horrible race. I'm sure we'll get to that a little bit later, and I'll explain what happened to me. But yeah, good on them. They had, sticking with teammates, pushing themselves through, keeping clean, and got the win in 1-2. That's a really good job.
Yeah, congratulations to Ernie out there. I said it last week. It was going to possibly take some teammates, and coming in, they were both late entries. I think they both got signed up for the league there at the last day or two. So actually, we didn't even know they were teammates until after the race. But we seen what they did, and they were, like Patrick said, they were in the right place at the right time. I mean, Ernie even survived a late caution. I think it might have been the last one or the second to last one there. Just a few laps to go. I don't know if it was the green-white checkered that we were coming to, but he survived that even though he spun out, went down the track and was still able to pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at see where they started in this race. They started together too. They started P17 and P16, and then they finished together also. So I imagine they just that was their plan going forward, was they were going to stick together, and whatever happened, they were going to be there for each other at the end. And it worked out for them, 1 and 2. So looking at some of the big movers in this race at Daytona International Speedway, Paul Nagus in a 52. He was your biggest mover. He started 29th and he finished 4th. Are you guys shocked about that, to see someone come from the back and be able to get inside the top 5 there?
No, I'm not. It's actually fairly common. We have, if there wasn't 20 points allotted during qualifying to get everybody to qualify, you might see me and Grant Clark just not qualifying and starting in the back, right? Problem I have is I'm one of the highest I ratings out there. So if there's a lot of guys that don't do that, I get pushed to the middle of the pack anyway, because the way iRacing does it, it takes the guys that don't qualify, and then the car ahead of all those guys is the guy with the highest I rating. So, but yeah, that's common. You gotta have Lady Luck smile on you. You gotta stay out of the wrecks. Just kind of slowly pick your way through, and then be at the right place at the right time to bring it home.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, actually, Ernie Williams actually did take an EOL right at the start of that race because he actually missed all of practice. So, he actually went to the rear of the field. I mean, not surprised at all that that him and Paul were able to navigate all the way through. I think we proved that in the summer series when we ran together. We ran in the back until we knew we were done pitting. And then we made our way to the front. I probably should have went with that theory. I think I only made it 20 laps this week. So I probably should have followed my instinct. I was a little bit worried about it when I seen there was 33 cars. And Daytona is tough to pass, as far as when you're in a big pack. So I tried to remain up front, and it didn't play out for me.
Yeah, and I looked at qualifying times, and I want to go a little more into detail on qualifying times and where people qualify and stuff. But Paul Nagus, when you looked at it, yes, you have to go out there and qualify. It does not look like he tried to run the fastest lap. Maybe middle line or even the top line. He knew where he was going to be when he qualified. He was trying to go towards the back of this race. So that seemed like that was his plan. Start in the back, buy your time, and then get up front. Because I know Paul Nagus, we did not talk about him a lot early in the broadcast. He wasn't there. He was mid-pack to back-pack, he wasn't up there. So let's take a look at it. I've got a graphic here on your screen you're going to look at here, and this is qualifying luck here at Daytona International Speedway. And we look at this. Steve Miller is on this list as well. He qualified P33. We did not talk about him most of the race until the very end. There he showed up, P8. A 25 position gain. So that worked out in his favor. Now you look at Alec Szerzynski. He started P32, finishes P25. But he was very quick to get to the front. We talked about Alec, and he was very fast and led a lot of laps. We'll get to that here in a few minutes about lap leaders. But again, he got up there quick. He started in the back, but he didn't finish where he needed to be. He finished P25. Only gained 7 spots out of that one. Barney Sigmund, you see him there, P31, finishes P33. Edmund Jones, P30, he finishes P29. And then you got Paul Nagus. There we go. We talk about him. P29, he finished P4, up 25 positions. And by the actual iRacing stats here, I know you got an EOL from Ernie, but from there, you have him as the biggest mover in this race. 25 spots, the same as Steve Miller. And then Byron Gay, P28, he stays P28, no gain. Robert Smith, P27 to P22, he's up 5. Daniel Quigley, he P26, P12, not too bad there, up 14 positions. Stephen Windebank lost 2 there from P25 to P27. Randy Lapidus, we've seen this before. He's done very well at restrictor plate racing. He was a champion. Randy Lapidus, P22, he bought his time and finished 5th in this one, up 17 position. And Zach Dykstra, P20 to P7, up 13 positions. So for this, it seemed like some people took advantage of that, where they kind of stayed in the back late in this race, and they made their way towards the front late in the run. The ones that went up there quick, not so much, and then there were some that just stayed in the back, and they never did able to get to the front there. Okay, before I go to the next graphics guy, looking at that, any shockers there? Anything that stands out is like, whoa, did not think that was going to happen.
Well, my shocker is actually Steve Miller, P33 to P8, right? He usually has a difficult time, but he pulled it out, had a great race, right? So, but yeah, I mean, any of those guys, they ran a great race. Just took their time, and didn't put themselves in any bad positions and to cause anything going on, right? So, yeah, great race for those guys. But yeah, Steve Miller definitely good on him to have such a good finish at Daytona.
Yeah, I got to say, Steve's probably definitely the biggest surprise, but he did follow our theory as far as what we did in the summer, and it worked out for him here at Daytona this time around. So I know you're going to talk about it a little bit later, but the biggest disappointment out of this list is obviously Alec Szerzynski up there. I mean, he ran a great race. He was your lap leader, and I mean, it's unfortunate for him, but he was involved right there just before the green-white checkered, involved in an incident that took his night out. But Randy Lapidus, like you mentioned, I think it's going to be interesting to see what he can do now that we're moving on to New Hampshire. Let's see if he, he's taking the approach to run in the back most of the time too and survive at these super speedways, and it's worked out for him, and he's missed the big one all the time. But New Hampshire not going to be able to do that. We'll see how he saves the tires.
So before we move on to that next graphic on the qualifying side, because I'm going to show you those that finished or qualified very high in this race and where they finished, I want to ask you guys, what do you think won in that? Do you feel like the guys that started in the back or maybe middle pack was more successful than the guys that qualified up front?
I think if you look at it, it's probably going to be a mixed bag. I don't know if you want me to wait, so we'll wait until I ask you my questions about my race. Because I need to explain what happened to my race, right? So I think what you'll find is a mixed bag, right? The problem you have starting out in the front is you've got guys that are going to get runs and come up on you, and then wind up putting you in a pickly situation.
Sure.
The smart guys, and you saw it a couple times during the race, the smart guys, when they see that type of stuff going on, they dive down below the yellow line, let the field go by, tax onto the back, and then keep on going. I didn't get a chance to do that, but we'll get to me.
Yeah, and you talk about that. You're exactly right, because I remember early in on this race, and I'm like, oh gosh, are we going to be able to hold this? But Derek Raffling, he got in the middle, and nobody went with him, and it just split like the Red Sea, and everyone went around him, and he went backwards, and we held our lines, and it was great racing and really cool to see. But you're exactly right. People get runs on you. Chris, what do you think?
I think it's 50-50. I mean, I think if if we ended before the green-white checkered, that we went to the race ends in totally different standings. So, we survived 48 laps, and then you go to a green-white checkered, and there was another incident. So it definitely changed the standings. It's really tough to go off of where we started and finished.
Absolutely, and there it is. There's the graphic showing where people started, P1 all the way through P10. Only 2 positions out of that list. Harold Ralph and Ryan Palmer was the only ones that gained any kind of position on the track. They are listed as green, but you could also put some other guys in there that would probably be listed as green, as Nick Galusha, P5 to P9. I think that's a win coming out of Daytona. Grant Clark, P6 to P11. I think that's still a win coming out of Daytona. So I think you guys are right there. I think it was more of the mixed bag there. If you started up front, yeah, it's, again, lady luck, like we've said before. And then you looked at the middle of the pack. I looked a little bit there. Well, middle of the pack, 16th and 17th. Well, we just talked about that. That was Ernie Williams and Nate Davis, and they were your 1 and 2 finishers. So, yes, a very much mixed bag here at Daytona on the qualifying. Be interesting to note when we talk about this next week. Will that change in any sense? But I do want to hear from Patrick on that P2 qualifying and finishing P28, the worst in the field, minus 26. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so my strategy going in was to stay ahead of the carnage, right? So once I qualified well, that was my plan, and it was going well. I was leading. I had a really good pusher behind me. We were doing well. Coming up on the lap car, and I had asked him a lap or two before, "What's your plan when we get to you?" And didn't get any response out of him. A couple of things happened during the time when we were getting ready to pass him in the tri-oval. One, he stayed on the low side, so we were going to have to move up. But I had a mechanical problem at that exact moment. My VR, so I race in VR, so my VR goggles glitched out for like a second and a half. And my car drifted up and hit the outside wall, which I think caused that chain reaction in the race. After I went back and looked at the race, I'm not quite certain. I don't know if that might have happened anyway, had I not done that, but I attributed at the time that my glitch in my headset caused that accident. So after our pit stops, I had Chris give me an EOL. The problem was when I went into my pit, because I was discussing with Chris about the incident and what was going on, I forgot to uncheck my fast repair. So it used up my fast repair that first pit stop when I didn't need it, because it was just a light scrape on the outside. They could have just repaired that real quick, a few seconds of repair, and I'd have been back out. So what happened was I got collected in the second caution. I thought I was past it. I slowed down, so I started going again because I thought I was down low enough and then a couple guys on the outside, still going pretty good, got into each other, came down right into me. So that pretty much ruined my race. I spent about 8 to 10 minutes in the pits repairing, put me like 8 laps down. So that was my race from there on out.
So, yeah, missing that check with that fast repair, man, that happens to a lot of people, and I just wondered if you maybe fired your crew chief after that one, and maybe you better next week here, or I'm sorry, tonight, I should say, at New Hampshire. Chris, were you shocked to see Patrick finishing so far back early in on this?
No, not at all. It's Daytona.
Oh, man.
I mean, if it would have been New Hampshire or any other track that we run all season, including Atlanta, I would have probably said Patrick would have been all right. But this is kind of what I expected last week. I think I even mentioned it when we went to the top 3. So I would have taken Patrick if it was any other track. But it's Daytona. He was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Okay. Let's look at these lap leaders from Daytona International Speedway. We talked about Alec Szerzynski, and yes, heartbreaker, because he looked very, very strong up there. Was moving lines the way he wanted to move lines, and it really seemed like he had the command once he got up there, and he led 12 laps in this race. But also, Andrew Thornton, man, he's a dirt driver, and he raced up there up front with the best of them, and he led 8 laps there, so he should be very proud of himself after getting into a late wreck there, and they finished towards the back of the pack. Nathan Davis right there, 7 laps he led, and there you go. Patrick Day, you said that he was up there, and you were, for 6 laps. Jason Haynes led 4, Ernie Williams led 4, and man, the most important one he led. Nick Galusha, he did 3 laps up there. Derek Raufling, he did 3. Paul Negus, 2. Robert Smith, 2. Kyle Wellman, 2. And Harold Ralph, 1. So there's quite a few on there that at least led 1 lap in this race. And like I said earlier, there was 23 lead changes here at Daytona International Speedway. So it's back and forth up there on the front. As the top line would prevail, the inside line would prevail. It was back and forth throughout the entire race. let's talk a little bit more about New Hampshire, because that's where we're about to go. New Hampshire, we said it earlier, it is a 1 mile track. So we've got 100 miles here at New Hampshire. You look at them bankings, the corners, there's only 7 degrees. And the straights is only 1 degree, so it's a very flat track. Some track record there. Austin Dillard set one back in 2015. You see that there. The track opened in 1990. Man, Chris was just a baby at that point in time. No, I'm just kidding. He was a little bit older. Right? And I should have said no. I should have said Patrick was just a baby at that point in time. Right? So, guys, what do you guys think we're going to see here at New Hampshire as we've got 100 laps around New Hampshire?
So, I will say, our core group of guys that have been here for a long time, we could probably go green flag to checkered flag without caution free, right? I'm not sure with the new guys, so we'll have to see. 33 plus cars on the track. There's more people around people, so can't really say what's going to happen caution wise. I don't think there's going to be many. I don't think there's going to be as many cautions as what you found at Daytona.
Yeah.
But they may happen. And this race is going to come down to saving the tires, being quick, but saving the tires in a balanced way, right? So not burning that right front off, keeping them the rights as close to even wear as you can.
And before I move on to you, Chris, I want to ask you on that, Patrick, is you said that we won't see as many cautions, but we may see cautions. What will cause cautions here? Will it be the breaking points of going into the turns, or is it going to be something different?
The setup, I've been driving it quite a bit. It can get loose coming off the turns. Where I think there may be problems, I think what's going to happen is when you get a little bit of wear on the tires, guys trying to pass guys on the inside are going to drift up into the guy on the outside and cause some problems. Could be just a bump or two, but if they get in hard enough or hit them far enough back on the left quarter panel, it could spin them. So that might be, I think that's where your cautions are going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be just the opposite of what Patrick said. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see probably somewhere in the same range that we've seen at Daytona, 7 to 8 cautions, I would say. I think it could widen out and we could run clean. But I do think it'll widen out. I still think we're going to have trouble, especially if we get the same size of field that we had last week. If we get 35 plus, that track's going to be a lot tighter than the normal when we've ran before, Patrick, and when our normal group of guys have ran. So, I don't know. I'll be shocked. I mean, I can't save my tires here, so I'll probably be the cause of at least one incident. So who knows? I'll probably go out and run 20 laps and park it for the day. But I'm going to give it my best, but it's definitely not my track, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to see a breed of cautions.
Okay, well, we will just find out here in just a few moments as it is countdown to green, and, well, qualifying is about to start, and we'll find out who's going to be sitting on the pole here for the 100 laps at New Hampshire. You know what time it is. It's 15 minutes till we get over to the track, so boy, oh boy, it is time for our picks, boys. So let's bring up that grid, and if you remember from last week, what we picked was complete garbage. No one was right. It was bad.
This was close for me.
Yeah. So let's do better, okay? Let's get some points on the board for one of us. And let's start with Chris. Who do you have here in the third position? Well, Patrick, you get to guess it. Who's he got here in number 3 spot?
Nick Galusha.
Nick Galusha. What do you got, Chris?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Patrick, that's a good guess. Nick's going to be quick here. I took Nate Davis. If you listened to his interview last week at the end of the race after he finished in second, he told you that one of his better tracks was New Hampshire, that he would be good here. He's one of the higher I-rating drivers. I think he might be even second to Patrick in the league. So he brought it home third and was running up front most of that Daytona race. You already mentioned it. He had the lowest incident points, I think. So I think he'll be able to keep it clean here at New Hampshire. I think he obviously knows how to run it since he said he was pretty good here. I think he'll come home third.
Yeah, absolutely. Nate Davis, fewest in incidents at Daytona International Speedway with only 4 incidents coming out of that. It's a really good pick there. It's coming off of a momentum time of Daytona International Speedway. This race could mean a lot, and it could separate himself from the field just a little bit. Give him a cushion. I like the pick. Patrick, you've got that third pick keyed up, but Chris, who does he have there?
I think he's gonna go with his teammate Grant Clark.
Grant Clark. Patrick, do you have your teammate Grant Clark here?
I do not, and Grant will probably get mad at me for that. Grant saves his tires really well, but he has a tendency to overconserve. So he'll find himself in a spot that he just can't catch up to where he should be, right? So he's got to work on his balance between going fast but saving the tires at the same time.
So who do you have here in the 3 spot?
I actually have Nick Galusha there.
Nick Galusha.
Yeah, the way I see this happening, of course, all respect to Nate Davis. Yes, that's a really great pick. I can only go off of the guys that I've raced in the past, so that's kind of how I'm gauging this. I think after this week, I'll be able to gauge the racers better after seeing them race this race. So, but Nick Galusha, I think what's going to happen, he's going to get out front. He's going to pull away from the field, and he's going to use up his tires a little bit. But he's going to create a big enough gap that only a couple guys are going to get by him. I believe that's what I see happening.
That would be fun.
Now, I will caveat. Sorry to interrupt. I will caveat this though. That's if we have a lot of green flag laps. If this thing is caution riddled, my picks might go out the window.
Okay. So you'd almost think that if there's a lot of cautions, then maybe you'd be saying that Nick Galusha has a chance at winning this thing because he seems pretty fast and can get out there. Interesting. It'll be an interesting one to call if it does go green flag and see him get so far out there and who saves the tires and able to catch him. I like the pick. All right, guys. Who do I have here in my number 3 pick?
Who would try and pick?
I'm gonna go with Paul Fly.
Paul Fly.
Okay. I'm gonna say he's gonna pick Wellman.
So I did have Paul Fly last week, right? I had Wellman as a champion. So I see where you're going with this, Patrick. I picked him as a champion, so he's got to be here in the top 3, you would think, right? And Paul Fly, I had him finishing first, so he's on my radar too. But my number 3 pick is going to this week. So you're on the podium this week. I think you're going to rebound very well from Daytona, and you need it. You need it, sir. All right.
Yes, I do.
Moving on to the silver bracket here. Chris has that one queued up for us. And Patrick, who does he have here?
Well, if I'm going off of the trend I think he might be going on, I'm going to say he picked Ernie Davis in this spot.
Okay.
Ernie Williams.
Ernie Williams, sorry.
Yep.
So no, good pick. I'm not, I can't just necessarily go off of that on the, he won Daytona, but Patrick, I went with you. I think you've showed success in the past at New Hampshire. I know we've ran the SK Modifieds there a lot. We've also ran, I think, the Truck Series maybe once there, but I'm going to go with you in second there.
Woo! Boy, he's on the board twice already. Oh, Patrick. He's up there.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all. You're on the board. You might get us some points here. Get me points. Get Chris points. We'll see. All right. Patrick has the number 2 spot queued up. And Chris, who does he have here?
Man, he gave it away a little bit with saying that he wanted to go with guys he's ran against. I think I'm going to roll with Kyle Wellman here.
Okay.
Good pick, but no. I went with Timmy Lewis.
Timmy
Again,
Lewis.
like I said last week, he had a race like I did. He was involved with some stuff at Daytona, but at a track where he can save tires, he's a quick racer. He can save tires. I think he's going to be quick enough and save enough that he'll be able to get by Nick.
Great pick. Great pick. I think that's a really good one. I don't know if I even picked him. I can't even remember my picks. But I like that pick. I love that pick. It's a great pick. And I like that you have teammates there, 2 and 3. So, interesting there. All right.
If we had 4, Paul Fly would probably be 4th.
Okay. So, so we already know that Paul is not in the number 1 spot for him. So, all right. Who do I have as my number 2 pick here? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, I don't know what your mentality is. I'm going to say you might say Timmy Lewis, same as me.
Okay.
I think you're going with Nate Davis.
Go with Nate Davis. No. I'm going with Alec Szerzynski here. A 23 car. You gotta go with... I think he will be right up there. Right up there with the best of them. But not the best. Not quite. So Alex Szerzynski, number 23, he's number 2. All right, this is the most important one. Who's going to win here at New Hampshire? Chris has it queued up for us, and Patrick, you get to tell me who he's got.
Well, he surprised me by not picking me for first spot. So, I'm going to say my teammate, Grant Clark.
Grant Clark. Man, that must be a... You guys must have been practicing on this track or something. You guys are confident. Chris, what's he got?
I know Grant knows how to run New Hampshire. I didn't go with Grant. I went with Nick Galusha. And I know Patrick's got him sitting there in 3rd. We were at New Hampshire. I don't know if it was in the trucks or the SK Modifieds a couple seasons ago, and Nick dominated that race, led 48 laps in it. Should have came home the winner. Unfortunately, he was involved in an incident right there at the end, and Timmy Lewis won it. But I think Nick, if he can keep that truck in one piece, he's going to come home victorious here.
Oh boy. We now have Patrick Day, and we have Nick Galusha on the board twice. Are you guys on to something here? I like the Nick Galusha pick. I think that's probably a really good one as well. Maybe one of these guys could potentially be inside this top 3 for sure. All right, it's Patrick's turn. Chris, what's he got?
So, Patrick always said he wouldn't take himself. He said he'd put Paul at 4th, and it's guys he's raced against, and it wasn't Grant. So, you know what? I think Patrick's going to say he's going to take the victory here at New Hampshire.
Man. You know, it makes sense. I mean, he's been very confident in his team right now. So, Patrick, enlighten us. Who do you have here in the number 1 spot?
I put pressure on myself, and I put myself as winning this race. I've spent a lot of time practicing. I've done 4 mock races now. So, yeah, I think I'm ready. We'll see what happens tonight. But I'm as ready as I can be. So, if I lose this, it's on me.
Yeah. Yeah, you put yourself up there on that pedestal. You better come home with a win.
I love the pick, though. I love it.
I do. And now we see the board here, and you see Patrick Day is going to be a threat here, guys. 1, 2, 3. I see 3 names up there for him. Will we see another 3rd name up there for me? Who do I have, guys, here in the number 1 spot?
Go ahead, Chris. I'm still thinking.
Well, and I'm not 100% sure of this, so I might be speaking out of something I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Ryan Palmer is also a teammate of Nick Galusha, Timmy Lewis, and Paul Fly. He's just a newcomer. I know he knows them, so I don't know if he's a teammate or not, but he came home third at Daytona, and I think you might have taken him first since you pretty high on these teammates too.
I think you're. I'm spitballing here, but I actually think you might be picking Derek Rolfling, a Miller Time Motorsports team car.
Wow, good picks, guys. Both of you. Really good picks. Either one of those could be there. But are they? That number one pick is going to Nate Davis. Nate Davis here. I think he's gonna impress some people here. I was impressed with what he did there at Daytona, and I really feel like if his teammate wasn't there, he could have won that race. He was locked up with his teammate. He was fine with where he was at, and it sets their team up for success for the rest of the season. So it didn't have to come home with a win there at Daytona, and it didn't matter. I love this pick right here as Nate Davis gets the win, gets his first win of the season. It's time to find out what happens here at New Hampshire for 100 laps, 100 miles. Are you guys ready? You both have to strap into the car.
I am ready. I don't know if I can feel any more confident about track, so we'll see how much everybody else has practiced this week, and let's get it on.
I mean, I'll probably be joining you in the booth about 15 laps in.
Go and blow a tire and go straight into the wall. Turning that wheel way too much.
Yeah.
Burning that front right out. Be gone. Alright guys, it's time to go over to New Hampshire for the countdown to green session is over. It's time to go green flag racing for 100 laps around New Hampshire International Speedway. Let's go! Ernie Williams was victorious at Daytona last week, but this is a new week at a much smaller track up north. It's a crisp 75 degrees on a slight cloudy overcast day. It's the New Hampshire 100. Alex Trzynski, he needs a big night after finishing 25th at Daytona in a late caution. He was victim to it. He needs a big one. Also, Patrick Day, he needs a big one, and he's very confident coming in here, picking himself to win today. And then you got Ernie Williams. Well, he was the winner at Daytona, and he is looking to continue his dominance here in round two. And then you got Timmy Lewis in the 41 machine. Well, he didn't have the greatest of outings at Daytona, finishing 20th. He is looking to rebound as well here in round two at New Hampshire Speedway. Now you take a look at the schedule. We just finished up at Daytona. You got New Hampshire. And then next week we're going to travel to Chicagoland before we hit the short track at Bristol. And these points could very much be mixed up a lot, especially after you come off of a Daytona track that many guys say it's all about luck. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. New Hampshire, that's different. You got to have a lot of skill here. And then Chicagoland, and then Bristol, the short track where it's going to be beaten and banging for, well, probably about 200 miles around Bristol Motor Speedway. Folks, we are getting close to starting out qualifying session, and we've got about 4 minutes until that happens. But until that does happen, take a look. If we can bring it up here, look at the practice times here. Okay, this is practice times as they've come in out there, and you look at in that number one spot, Nick Galusha. Well, right below him is his teammate Ryan Palmer and Paul Fly. So you got three of them up there inside the top 3, and then Nate Davis there in the 4th spot. So you've got some teammates up there. They may know how to get around this place, but will they be able to do it for 100 laps, save those tires, or are they just quick right now? We'll find out here in just a very, very short time from now, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everything.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
My truck isn't something you want to see in your rearview mirror.
My truck is a 3,400-pound precision-guided sledgehammer.
I guess you could say my truck likes to take the path less travelable.
My truck never gets claustrophobic in tight spaces.
My truck doesn't haul tools, but hardware, that's a different story.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
Rookie or veteran, no matter how long you've been coming to this event, there are butterflies. There have to be.
The biggest race of your career, one of the biggest races in the world. I guarantee you there's a lot of butterflies.
The white flag at the Daytona 500. It's time to get busy. Horrific crash on the final lap of the Daytona 500.
A second time, the Daytona 500 goes to Jimmy Johnson. God almighty, you just won the 500. Kurt Busch wins the Daytona 500. Are you kidding me? Wow. Are you there? Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500 and wins the Coach Gibbs.
Welcome back to New Hampshire Speedway for the Tarmac Truck Series. It's New Hampshire 100 laps for 100 miles. And this broadcast is sponsored by Bell IT Solutions. And also, this league is Miller Time Motorsports. Qualifying is now out onto the speedway. You'll see it come up on the board there as they come across the stripe. Who will be the fast qualifier today? Patrick Day currently on top of the leaderboard early in. We've got 10 qualifiers across the line. And so far is Patrick Day up there on top. He turned a lap of a 30.42, and there you go. We got a new top qualifier, and there Patrick Day comes back on top. Nick Galusha comes into the second position now. Patrick Day scored at a 30.25 right now, a 30.25. You can see that down there is his best lap at a 30.254. Nick Galusha right there in that second position, turning a 30.318. So his teammate right there, right in behind him, Paul Fly, turns a 30.345. Timmy Lewis now turns a pretty good time there. Very, very quick. Turning a 30.318. So far, the only driver that's got down into the twos at a 30.2 is Patrick Day right now. Nate Davis, he turns a 30.422. So there you see the board there. There's your top 20. Do have Larry Bell down there in that last 20 position. Now that changes over. Larry Bell back after missing the first race of the season. A couple of cars now out on the speedway to take time. That's Grant Clark, Ryan Palmer, Steve Miller, Chris Miller, Daniel Quigley, and Byron Gaze out there on the speedway right now to take time. So we'll take a look and see where they end up. Again, Grant Clark, the 06 machine. He is a Canadian and a teammate of Patrick Day. As we take a quick look in on that one. As he gets really loose there off of 3 and 4, and we figured we would see that here, and we talked about it early in the pre-race show. Patrick Day said that it tends to get a little loose. There you go. Ryan Palmer at a 30.312 in that 10 car. He comes in second quick. Byron Gay out there, 18th quick right now to 31.2. And there a new updated time at a 30.674 for Byron Gay. So that looks like all the cars out there that has qualified. Still looking for a time for Chris Miller. We do not have a time for him yet. He may be having connection issues. That tends to happen a little bit with him. So we'll hold out and see if the 69 machine of Chris Miller is able to take time, as it is finished up right there, so it doesn't look like he's going to get time. So that's going to take 20 points off of him for not going out and qualifying. That's going to hurt him, but he's going to start 27th in this field as we are getting you set for green flag racing here in just a few moments. Let's see if we can queue up that pole setter. Patrick Day was able to set quick time there. Patrick, do you got a copy?
I got you. How you got me?
We've got you loud and clear, and you was able to set quick time out there, setting the pole. You were confident coming into this that this is going to be your race to win. What do you think? You still got it?
It's a good. It's definitely a good start. I was not expecting to actually get the pole here. There are some fast guys here, so we'll see. I know that I'm probably going to get it run over here early with the guys that are going to want to go fast. I'm going to try to get the race pace and take care of my tires. So hopefully I don't get spun out. We'll see what happens here.
All right. Good luck to you, Patrick.
Thank you.
All right. That was Patrick Day. You're there, your pole setter. So he's trying to do something that not a lot of people would do, but have that confidence in saying that I'm gonna set the pace, and I'm gonna win this race. And so he's setting in P1. Let's see if we can holler at Timmy Lewis. Timmy Lewis, you got a copy? Timmy Lewis, you got a copy?
Yep.
All right. Hey, got yourself in P3 here. After a bad week at Daytona, how crucial is it to you to get inside that top 10 today?
It's definitely big, especially after last week. I was hoping for a good finish, and you know how Daytona is, anything can happen there, and I ended up 20th, couple laps down, so definitely need a good finish today and just make sure I stay out of the wrecks and stuff.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that was Timmy Lewis, as we are getting so close to green flag here at New Hampshire Speedway for 100 laps. And I tell you, I came here and practiced a little bit. That's tough, 100 laps around this place. It can be tiring. Pace truck is off. We are getting you green flag in the air in the Geico restart zone. Patrick Day is your race leader. Off of turn 2, Patrick Day is your race leader. Ryan Palmer is in that second position, following right behind the 24 car. Timmy Lewis right to the inside of him. So side-by-side racing here on the first lap. No one's going to make way for a single file line just yet. It's Ryan Palmer on the outside, Timmy Lewis on the inside, and Nick Galusha on the outside of him. 41 and the 20 are teammates as they race for that third and fourth position. As we've got a caution and as cars go around in the back, we have our first caution flag of the day. As we will go back and check and see what happened there. As it kind of just all stacked up there as they come out of the turn. Here's a look at it. The 55 on the outside gets loose on the exit. And the 94 of Paul Fly tries to miss it. And he will get some damage there, but it was the 55 machine that was involved there. So that 55 will have to make repairs, maybe. Definitely Paul Fly. He did make some contact to the outside wall there. So I would imagine we'll probably see Paul Fly down into pit road. First caution flag of the day comes very, very early in this one. Lap 4 of 100 here. It's going to be a long afternoon, so sit back, relax. Thank you for tuning in to Tarmac Esports. It's our first time live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. And if you have not done it yet, hit the subscribe button over there. We would greatly appreciate that. We'd like to build this side of the platform, as we had quite a bit of viewers last week on Facebook, and can't thank all of those viewers enough. We had at least 25 to 30 viewers all at once during that live event. So for the first time for us broadcasting Tarmac and the asphalt side, we can't be more happy with that. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so there. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, go over there, hit the like button, hit the follow button, and watch us all season long, as this is round 2 of a very long season. As you can see there, we have got 12 weeks of racing, or 12 total rounds of racing, as we do take a few weeks off there in between Christmas. So Daytona, we just had. New Hampshire, we're here. Next week, Chicagoland, and then Bristol. That's your next 2 races after New Hampshire Speedway today. All right, that lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. That means that car will be hitting pit road, and Patrick Day will have the command of the field in the Geico restart zone. And green flag is out on the speedway. 3 wide on back in here. As someone didn't want to go, as that Timothy Lewis and Nick Galusha takes over that second position off of Ryan Palmer's mistake there on the restart. So Palmer moves back into the 4th position as Nick Galusha goes after the lead. Nick Galusha and Timothy Lewis going to try to put it 3 wide. Timothy Lewis backs off, says teammate, go ahead, make your way. And now Ryan Palmer on the outside of Timothy Lewis. But Nick Galusha takes the race lead away from Patrick Day on lap 7 here of a very long 100 laps around New Hampshire. Nick Galusha is your race leader. Timothy Lewis now to the inside of Ryan Palmer as things really start to spread out for your top 5. Timothy Lewis, then on back is Ryan Palmer. Ryan Palmer started second on that restart, did not have the best of restart, and he sits in that 4th position. Kyle Wellman is up 4 spots in this race. He is in the 5th position, and he is looking to rebound off of just a nightmare of a day at Daytona International Speedway. As caution flag waves once again, we'll try to find that caution for you. As we will take a break, and when we come back, we will look at that caution for you.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Oh!
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everything.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
Welcome back. Here's what happened on that caution. The 55 gets up into the 69, and they take a turn down the front stretch. The 55, that's his second caution. And so the 55 not having the best of outings, as we will try to get things sorted back out for you. As well, Patrick Day, Nick Galusha, that is your front 2. Galusha was able to take the lead away from Patrick Day. As we've got 10 laps into the books of a 100-lap race. The iRacing pace truck lights are out. We're going to go green flag racing out of turns 4 in the Geico restart zone. Right behind Galusha is Timothy Lewis, the teammate of him. Ryan Palmer, also a teammate of all these guys. So we got 3 cars right up there that are teammates. And then there you go. Alex Straczynski has cracked the top 5. In that 5th and 6th position with Kyle Wellman. And green flag is back in the air for Galusha. Patrick Day puts it in there pretty good to put it to the outside of Galusha. Galusha holds his own down there. Timothy Lewis looking to the inside of Patrick Day. Big run by Ryan Palmer, not able to go anywhere with Kyle Wellman to the inside, and Wellman gets in there really tight on the 10 car. They stay off of each other. Ryan Palmer looks to the outside of 24, 25. He maybe got a little loose there on the exit, and he just let up just a little bit, and here comes Alex Szerzynski to his back bumper. There's Alex Szerzynski right there in the 23. Looking to the inside is Paul Negus. Paul Negus, we talked about him late at Daytona, and he was able to make some moves late in there and come away with a solid finish there at Daytona International Speedway. Zach Dykstra runs in the 8th position. He's up 3 spots from the start of this race. Byron Gay on back in here. He's up 3 spots. Looking to the inside of Andrew Thornton, trying to take that position away. Sam Reed on the outside in that 55 machine. Good looking paint scheme for him as he drives it in there a little high. There you go, Byron Gay still to the inside. And Harold Ralph also to the inside of Zach Dykstra. That's the good battles on the track. That is for 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. Back in here, all single file up front with Galusha still leading the way as they kind of file itself out here with Harold Ralph tucking in behind Zach Dykstra. Byron Gay still looking to the inside of Andrew Thornton. Not able to do it. A good battle on back in here. Right behind him, Nate Davis looking to the inside of that 93 machine. 4 car of Randy Lapidus gets in real hard, gets up into the wall a little bit there on 4, stacks everything up, and a little contact there with the 22 and the 4. There's a 3 wide down into the turn number 1, and wow, things are really getting hairy for Nate Davis. What's he going to do as things are really stacking up here? The exit of 2. And there it is. We've seen it. That wasn't going to be able to hold that, and there goes the 4 car into the wall as well. Kind of seen that one coming. Randy Lapidus kind of all over the place, and everyone was trying to funnel around him, and then the 93 and the 4 get together, and the caution flag waves once again here at this tricky New Hampshire Speedway. A very, very tricky New Hampshire Speedway for sure. Nick Galusha is running up front right now. And let's see if we get a copy on Nick Galusha. Galusha, you got a copy?
Yep.
Galusha is able to take the lead away from Patrick Day. Are you surprised with how many cautions we've had early in on this? And does that change anything in strategy for your team?
No, I honestly hope for more cautions. I'm not really good on the long run, so I'm hoping for just a lot of cautions and just stay out front.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, so you heard it there. Galusha, not very good on long runs. So if that happens, Nick Galusha may be in trouble. As he just said it, I'm not good on long runs. I want these short runs, as that's where I'm at my best. So, Nick Galusha. We're going to fire away at Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. You got me.
We got you. See, you're looking good out there. Up 5 spots in this race. Had a rough outing at Daytona. How crucial is it for you to have a good night?
Oh, we're going for a win here. This is my least favorite track on the schedule, but we're going to go for a win. I'm going to let these boys in front of me keep eating their tires up, and we're going to pounce.
And so I gotta ask, how do you feel as far as long runs go? Because so far we've had short runs. Do you anticipate that we'll get into a groove and have a long run over a time?
Man, I really hope so. I think if we get a long run, I'll be right up there battling top 3. Keep getting these short runs, it's all going to come down to how aggressive I can be on the restarts. But these top 3, they've been really aggressive on the restarts. Pushing it any more than that might cause a wreck, so we don't want to do that.
All right, good talking to you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that was Kyle Wellman. As we said, he didn't have a good outing there at Daytona. he was one of my picks to win the championship, so he's running in that 4th position. So interesting to see what he will be able to do here over the long haul of this race. Patrick Day sits in that 5th position. Alex Szerzynski in that 6th position. I haven't talked a whole lot about Andrew Thornton, but man, that 31 was up front a lot at Daytona and was really pleased with himself as being a dirt driver and be able to stay up front. 31 right now, currently running in that 11th position right now, up 2 spots from the start of this race. And let's look at your biggest mover in this race, and your biggest mover right now is Grant Clark. He's up 8 spots in that 06 machine. We're getting you set to go green flag here in the Geico restart zone. iRacing pace truck lights are out, and Galusha has the command. Machine looking for the flag in the air, and it is. The 20 got a good start there on his teammate, the 41. Ryan Palmer follows right in behind him. Ryan Palmer drives it in there hard on the 41 of Timothy Lewis. So side by side there. Kyle Lohman on back in here as he had a contender of Patrick Day hot on his heels. As things clear out, and we've got a wreck back here in the back of the pack. It's the 65 machine on back in here. Things start to clear out as that is John Ott. John Ott was the one involved in that. As no caution comes out, everyone holds their composure. So a sigh of relief for some as the caution did not come out. While all that was going on, Timothy Lewis was able to steal second away from Ryan Palmer. Going back in here, we look on back here with Harold Ralph and Paul Fly. Paul Fly to the inside of Ralph. That is for the 8th and 9th position. Paul Negus in the 52 running very well here. Currently running 6th, 1 spot out of that top 5. Patrick Day holds that position down. Ryan Palmer looking to the inside of his teammate there on the exit of 4. Not going to do anything as he slows up into turns 3 and 4 as our caution flag has waved once again. Looks like it was Sam Reed involved in the caution on this one. So we will take a look and see what happened with that 55 car of Sam Reed as he had a good looking car. As here is what happened to the 55 machine. Drives it in hard, and there was the 22 machine. He slides it up into turns 1 and 2 wall. So the 55 machine going to have to make repairs as once again we are under caution, and we're on lap 23. And we look at what are people going to do here. We got some cars that's going to come in. No, it was a little fakery by Galusha, and the only one that went is the 52 machine of Paul Negus. So Paul is going to lose a lot of track position here as he was the only one that went in, and he was in that 6th position. Nobody else comes in, only him. It's a little fakeroo works for Galusha. Do want to look at some track facts while we've got the opportunity. Again, it's 1 mile, 7 degrees in the corner. Very flat track. On the straights, 1 degree. Now, look at the race facts here, and we need to know a little bit about these race facts because it is 100 laps, and your pit speed is 45 miles an hour. And look at that fuel window, 52 to 55 miles, or 52 to 55 laps is your fuel window. With these cautions, it may stretch that out maybe just a little bit more, but you're still going to see at least one stop by these guys, and it's a little bit too early right now to be looking at a pit stop on lap 24. Now, you look at the car that did come in. That was Paul Negus. He's going to have a lot fresher tires than the rest of them. Will that pan out for him in the long run when everybody else has to pit later on? I don't know, as he's going to be off cycle with everybody else. He'll be fast now, and he's probably hoping for a long green run here, I would imagine, as we get set for another restart here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We'll bring Chris Miller up, and Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Seems like you were right on when you said that we'll probably see a lot of cautions here, and that's what we've seen. Back in the back, what have you seen so far?
I mean, I haven't seen much. I've been back far enough even yet. Plus, I've been trying to get my lap back here. This is what I kind of figured. It's so hard getting off the turns here. People aren't patient enough. Wrong lines, I mean, including myself. But I think we're in for a night that we're going to probably see 10 to 12 cautions.
We've seen some fakeroo up front with Galusha faking the whole field out to go in, and the only guy that goes in is the 6th place car. He will have fresh tires on this restart. Will that pan out for him?
Oh, I definitely think new tires right now is going to be a lot faster. I wasn't sure what happened there, being I was trying to get my lap back, but yeah, they're going to blow past them.
All right, good luck to you. All right, we're ready to go green flag here out of turns 4. Nick Galusha, Timothy Lewis on the front row here. Car has the command in the Geico restart zone right here, and he is on the throttle. Kyle Wellman to the outside of Patrick Day, and now Patrick Day in the middle with Alex Szerzynski. Szerzynski to the outside. You got Paul Fly down on the bottom. They are side by side now in turns number 3 and 4. Paul Fly looking to come back in this race, as he is in the 5th position right now as they come across the stripe just ahead of Alex Szerzynski. That battle is for the 5th position, 5th and 6th position, as now Alex just tucks in behind Fly. Patrick Day to the inside of Alex Szerzynski here. 24-23, side-by-side drag race down the front stretch. Harold Ralph right there in the tied 15 car looking to pounce if any mistakes are made. 15 closes to the back bumper. The 24 gives way. Ryan Palmer to the inside. Kyle Wellman to the outside. Will Kyle Wellman have a run down the front stretch here, get to the outside of him? Yes, he will. Palmer gives him just enough room to be onto the outside. Paul Fly looks to follow him right in behind. Kyle Wellman trying to hold the outside line, not able to do it as Ryan Palmer holds that position down. Paul Fly is looking. Took a little peek there under the 42 machine. Nothing doing. Paul Negus, he was the one that took tires. He's up to 13th position, so it may have paid off for him as he is looking a lot faster, quite a bit faster actually, than some of his counterparts out there. Trying to save some of those tires, not go full blast on it, but he is pretty quick out there right now. Timothy Lewis takes the race lead over from Galusha, and Ryan Palmer follows right in behind. As Nick Galusha said that he wasn't good on long runs, so as those tires start to wear, we start to see Galusha start to fade. And Kyle Wellman a little high there on the exit of turns 2. May have scraped the wall just a little bit there. Yes, a little bit of scrape marks there on the 42 machine on the outside. Patrick Day is going to take advantage of that mistake by the 42 machine, and Patrick Day move him up into the 5th position. Alex Rzazinski now looking to the inside of Wellman. Rzazinski not able to make that pass complete yet. 42 of Wellman holding that position as of now as they come into turns 3 and 4. They get right up on each other. Rzazinski using every bit of the racetrack that he has as 42 is there. Hard racing like this definitely abuses some of those tires as Rzazinski still pushes in there hard, and that may have been just enough. Yes, slides right up into the 42, and the 42 goes around. The 42 just had the clear on Wellman. The 23 went around Wellman, got into the back of him. Not a whole lot of room there to work. As we'll take a look at the caution. As the 42 and Alex Rzazinski was battling hard for one another for that position. As take a look. Take one more look at that. As you see him come into turns 1 and 2 on board with the 42 of Wellman. 23 slides right up in front of him, and that little bump just sent the 23 around. As caution flag flies on the speedway. As we did have some takers, quite a few takers going into the pit right now, the 42, 41, and basically everyone is in the pits except for 3 cars. Paul Negus, that just pitted last time, Andrew Thornton, and Byron Gay are all in on this lap 36. So they have committed to a 2-stop. And Grant Clark as well in. Chris Miller getting repairs done on that 69 machine. You can see right there in the clip. So we take a look at the, if you look down there on your screen, that's your stint length and how long they've been on tires. You see the 2 there, the 31 and the 11, both hasn't taken any tires yet. So they've pretty much committed to a 1-stop here. Byron Gay and Thornton, that's 1 and 2. Negus, he did stop just a little bit ago on lap 23. So he does have about 13 laps on those tires. So interesting as the rest of them did go in on back through there. Alright, so we are under caution once again, lap 37 of 100. This is a tough, tricky track, and we kind of figured this is how it was going to play out, and Interesting to see some of the strategies that's going to maybe play out in this. The 52, a little bit older tires than the guys behind him, about 13 laps, and then the 2 on the front row is much older tires. So there's going to be definitely a difference in speed on those 38 lap tires. How much did the 11 and the 31 save on tires? You know, they may be in an okay spot, but was it enough? Was it enough? As Byron Gay is now up 13 spots from the start of this race, and the 31 of Thornton is up 11 spots in this race. Going to be on the Geico restart zone on the command of the 11 machine. Green flag for the 11. Paul Negus to the inside. Again, just a few more laps, older tires. And Patrick Day on the outside of him. Things are going to really stack up, and wow! Did you see that one down there? That looked like Larry Bell about hit the grass and some dirt went flying up in the air. As everyone holds their own, as Patrick Day takes over the 3rd position. Paul Fly on the outside of Negus. Patrick Day to the inside of the 31 machine. Will we be able to make that pass? No. Paul Fly to the outside of him, and Paul Fly gets really loose, and that sends Patrick Day to the inside. Oh man. Wow. Paul Fly got extremely loose there on the exit of 2, and Patrick Day went for a ride. There is Patrick Day. As the caution did not come out, he held onto that somehow, some way. But he's in bad shape now as he's on back in here. Now Byron Gay still leading this race since the drop of this green flag on this restart. But Paul Fly is slowly starting to catch him and picking away the traffic. As Paul Fly now to the inside of the 31 machine. Man, that was just hard racing off of 2. Fly got a little loose there. And that sent one car down to the inside. Paul Fly now takes the lead away from the 11 of Byron Gay, the 41 of Timothy Lewis, now looking to the inside of him. Timothy Lewis slides right up into the 11. 11 gets a little break there to give room to the 41. Andrew Thornton still losing positions here after not taking tires here, but will it be enough? Negus to the inside of him, 3 wide. Ryan Palmer to the inside. Here comes Nate Davis as well. 3 wide down the front stretch here. Still 3 wide. Now the 52 gets right up on the back bumper of Ryan Palmer. Here comes Negus looking to the inside, not able to do it. They make contact with Ralph. Nate Davis to the inside of Alex Rosinski and the 15 machine of Ralph. Negus stuck in the middle once again. Old tires not working out for him, starting to really fade here. The 15 car to the inside of him. Nate Davis to the inside of Andrew Thornton. Byron Gay still in 4th right now, still better than what he was if he would have pitted. So it seems like Byron Gay still holding his own very, very well. So he may have saved some tires early in on this race, and it's paying off for him right now. Inside the top 5. Harold Ralph going to try to make a run on that 11 machine. Nate Davis the inside of Negus. Wellman back here to the inside of Craig Bridge in the 07 machine. Wellman will take that position away up 11 positions. I'm sorry, up to 11th position. Nate Davis still to the inside of Negus. Neither one want to give way. Byron Gay to the outside of Harold Ralph. Ralph takes that position away. Byron Gay now has a contender of the 36 of Nate Davis. Up front, Paul Fly in the 94 and his teammate Timothy Lewis goes 1-2 right now. And then Ryan Palmer, another teammate. So 1, 2, 3 is teammates. Harold Ralph into the 4th position. And rounding out the top 5 currently is Byron Gay, but Nate Davis is right there to take that position away as we speak. And now you're starting to see the 11 start to fade a little bit as the tires may be wearing, is being up front, running up front, maybe had to push the tires a little bit more than what he would have if he was running on back in there. Paul Negus now looking to the inside. That's side-by-side battle for the 7th position with Paul Negus and Alex Trzynski. Trzynski looking to the inside of Byron Gay here. As I would imagine, Byron Gay is probably hoping for a caution here as we are on lap 49. Lap 49. I know that we had some cautions, so he's able to go a little bit further, and almost some contact there with Trzynski and Gay. Gay back to the inside. They make a little contact there. Slide it in there really hard. Negus right behind Byron Gay here. Lap 50. Kyle Wellman in the 9th position. Currently, that's where he started in this race. Had some issues, trying to work his way back up through the field. Nick Galusha, seen him get loose there off of 2, but he's on the inside of Thornton. Looking to the inside of Greg Bridge now, take 2 for 1 in one turn. Not quite able to clear it. Biggest mover still in this race is Grant Clark, up 13 spots into that 13th position. Patrick Day just trying to survive right now after making contact, or I should say Paul Fly making a little contact with him after he got loose. But Paul Fly is out front leading this, coming up on lap traffic to 69 of Chris Miller. Chris Miller gives way to Fly. Here, Nate Davis shipped down into 3rd and then up to 4th in 1 and 2. We'll listen in and see if he does it in 3 and 4. No, he will stay in 4th all the way through that turn. Listen again in 1 and 2. Does he do it there? No, he does not. He stays in that 4th gear. Up front with Paul Fly. All clear in front of him. Really ran it into that turn hard. Timothy Lewis right behind him. Good green flag run, and that's just what we needed. Kyle Wellman has gotten around Byron Gay, the 11 machine. Grant Clark going back in here. He is up 15 spots now in this one. He's up to 11th. He's almost cracked the top 10 now. That 06 is a teammate of Patrick Day. So the 06 of Grant Clark working well here at New Hampshire. There's your gaps back to 1st, Paul Fly, and then Timothy Lewis. About a half a second back to Timothy Lewis. And then a good gap on back to Ryan Palmer, about 2.5 seconds. Ralph 2.8, and then over 3.5 seconds back to Nate Davis in this one. 56 laps in of a 100-lap race. Timothy Lewis slowly starting to close in on his teammate, Paul Fly. Gap is just under 0.5, so every lap he's starting to close in on the race leader. Byron Gay now in for his pit stop. We wondered how long he could go, and under lap 57, he is now pulling it in for his pit stop. Will he just go right side here, as it is right sides right now, right side tires? Is he going to take the lefts? No, right sides only for him under a green flag pit stop, so had to do that to keep from losing too much time. Andrew Thornton still out there on the speedway. He's running 13th, but you can imagine he's probably getting low on fuel as well as with Byron Gay was. So when will he be able to make a pit stop, and will he be able to clear some of the cars to make that happen? Back up front, it's the lead race for the lead. Timothy Lewis to the inside of his teammate Paul Fly. Paul Fly gives the position up easily to his teammate. Now Timothy Lewis to the lead, but Paul Fly looking back to the inside. Paul Fly to the inside of the 41. Not able to do anything as that 41 machine looks pretty fast out there right now. Harold Ralph has taken over the position from Ryan Palmer. Move Harold Ralph up into the 3rd position, up 9 spots from the start of this race. And still yet, Grant Clark keeps chipping away at him. Up 17 spots, up into the 9th position. Grant Clark in the 06. There you go, you can see it. 17 spots up for Grant Clark. 17 big ones. Harold Ralph about 2.6 back from your race leaders. Alex Rosinski 3 seconds back. Graham Palmer, that's the race for that 4th and 5th position. Alex Rosinski will take it away from Palmer. Nate Davis now has the 11 of Byron Gay underneath him, as Byron Gay is a lap car right now, as just got fresh tires. So you can see just how much faster the 11 car is versus everyone else on the older tires. Byron Gay going to try to race his way back and get his lap back, so he's on a different set of tires. Thornton also back here in the 17th position. Still have not went in for his pit stop yet, so he should be getting real close to be pitting here soon. Patrick Day, slowly but surely, is coming back into the picture. He is in the 14th position right now, and he's on the outside of Ernie Williams Jr. We have not spoke of a lot today. Ernie Williams, the winner at Daytona, he runs 15th right now. Harold Ralph gets into the wall. Caution flag has waved. We'll take a look at what caused Harold Ralph to go around. As another caution comes out, and Byron Gay, that kind of maybe played out in his favor. Here is what the caution was about. Right there with Byron Gay. 2 different speeds. Wow, the 93 a lap car there. It goes to the inside of him, and just too much room there as the 11 gets into the 15 as they were trying to work around lap traffic as the 15 goes around and our caution flag waves out on the speedway. Right, 65 laps in of a 100-lap race. Will we see the leaders come in? Somewhere around 20 laps or so on those tires, so you gotta wonder, will they come in? So there it is, Lewis, 20 laps on those tires, maybe 29. I can't really read that there, but anyway, everyone comes down for service, as we will look at the pit stop for the 41 machine and see what he takes. Will he take all 4 or just 2 tires? Right side tires for the 41 currently. Jack drops. Right side tires coming on. So they're taking 4 tires here. And they are off. And the race off pit road, the 41 will win that one. Paul Fly will come out second. But the big winner in this one was Kyle Wellman as he takes 2 tires here to take the race lead over. All right, a lot has happened. A lot is still yet to happen, but now's a great time to step away and get a breather.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alright, welcome back to the New Hampshire 100 for the Tarmac Truck Series, round 2 here, and we're under caution once again, 68 laps of 100 laps down, and we're getting you set for a green flag. Ryan Wellman took 2 tires to take the race lead over from Timothy Lewis. Timothy Lewis on 4 tires, the 42 on 2 tires. Will that work for the 42? And maybe he's banking on maybe short runs here as we are getting closer and closer to the end of this race as we're over the halfway point. It's time to go green flag racing. The iRacing Pace Truck lights are out, and the 42 has the race command in the Geico restart zone. Three Chevys and a Toyota up front. The Toyota of Ryan Palmer. He's the best Toyota in the group, other than the 19th position of Polacek. Timothy Lewis gets a good run on the exit of 2. Here comes Paul Fly to the inside of his teammate, looking for that position. Szerzynski there in the 23, side by side with teammates right now. As that kind of clears up, Ryan Palmer now to the back bumper of Szerzynski. Negus now, Paul Negus in the 52, looking to the inside. There goes Ryan Palmer around. Ryan Palmer spins the 10 car around. Caution flag waves once again. Caution flag waves. Kyle Wellman, currently race leader in this one. Ryan Palmer goes around, makes a mistake there. Ryan Palmer is running a very good race inside the top 5 all race long. And he goes around. Paul Negus having a really good run here as we're under caution. And let's see if we can dial up Paul Negus. Paul Negus, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Paul, looks like you've been running very well inside the top 10 all day long in that 52 machine. What does it have? Is there anything underneath that motor that gets you up front?
I don't know. These guys are really good at saving tires, and that's why I got off a little bit of pit strategy here, but we're almost back together here. Everybody went in for 4 tires and fuel, so we'll see what we got. I'm going to try and save here a little bit, but make up a couple positions, put a couple trucks between me and Patrick back there in 7th, and see what we can do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Paul Negus there trying to do something here. We'll dial up Byron Gay here. Byron Gay, do you got a copy? Byron Gay, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Byron, we've seen that you took a different strategy here, and how is that going to pan out for you?
Yeah, so decided to go long there on that first stint, get some bonus points, lead some laps, because I knew the tire fall off wasn't going to hit till a later point with all the cautions, so rolled the dice there. Decided the short pit, got caught up in that last caution, but was able to get, in front of the leaders when they pit, got a free wave around, and decided to take the freshest tires here on the track, try to move forward, and go get some good points out of this.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Nick Galusha back here in the 6th position right now. Not looking too bad, but Paul Fly led a little bit of this race. Let's see if we can dial up Paul Fly. Paul Fly, you got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Paul, you was able to get the lead out there. Looked pretty fast. You gave it up here after pits, and you got Timothy Lewis, your teammate, right in front of you. What's going to take to get around the 2 cars in front of you?
I don't know. I got some work to do. I got to save a little bit more tire. Timmy's a little bit faster than me. Also want to apologize to Patrick. I didn't mean to get loose and kind of snap into him there. I felt bad. I was looking forward to running with him. But, yeah, we'll see what we can do here. I know these 2 in front of me are pretty quick, too, so we'll see.
Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
See if we can dial up Grant Clark. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Grant Clark up 18 spots in this in the 8th position. You've took your time throughout it, and here you are inside the top 10 late in this race. Do you have the car to get inside that top 5 or even win this thing?
Yeah, I should. I should have been on the pole. I had a 1.7 going until I spun coming out of 4. But I'm going to sit back here and just let these guys wear their tires out in front of me. We'll see what happens. I'd like it to go green from here. I didn't even want that last one. Yeah, we'll see. Should be able to get in the top 5 anyways. There's a couple of guys here that are going to wear their tires really bad, timing it in the corner off, so we'll see what happens.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, we're set for your green flag here in the Geico restart zone. Kyle Wellman is your race leader, still on 2 tires there. Everybody else on the 4-tire strategy. What will pan out here as we are closing into the end of this race? Green flag is waving on the speedway. 25 more laps around New Hampshire. Paul Fly to the inside of his teammate Timothy Lewis. The 94 looking for that 2nd position over his teammate. As they're side-by-side drag racing, there goes a car around. That's Sam Reed to the inside. Will we get a caution? No caution yet. No caution yet. Sam Reed on his own down there. Seems like he will get that back under fire there. As no caution out here. Kyle Wellman still race leader right now. Paul Fly really heavily pressuring the 41 of Timothy Lewis. Nick Galusha back in the race here. In that 4th position, car goes around, and they're going to stack up on back in there. That was Zach Dykstra back here involved in it. We'll take a look at the caution and see what happened there. As cars went around. And it does look like maybe Nate Davis may be getting a little bit of a bumper to the 18 there as they come out of the turn. Just a little tap, and well, that's all it took. As he goes into the wall and several cars stack up. Quigley. So, unfortunate for those drivers. As once again, we are back under caution. It's definitely going to look like a shootout in this one. As we come down to the end of this, guys is going to have the fresher tires is probably going to win this. Question is, do you take tires here? Can you sacrifice track position? Can anyone take tires? No one's going to yet. Maybe they're thinking another caution's going to happen, but somewhere, if you're like, say 10th on back, maybe you take that and go in, leave those leaders out there. Is that a strategy that could play out? We shall find out. No takers right now. Getting to the end of this one, don't miss it. Chicagoland, Wednesday, November 8th. That's a week from now. Don't miss that one. Chicagoland, that'll be a fun one. Driver we didn't get to see today, Derek Rolfing. He is out to Phoenix, I do believe. Helping out Haley D and that truck team. He is a pit crewman for her, so good luck to him out there in Phoenix. The Tarmac Esports here at New Hampshire for the Truck Series. Thank you for tuning in at YouTube. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate that. Hit the follow button. Go over to Facebook as well. Hit the like button there. As all season long, from now on, we will be live on YouTube. YouTube, it will be our destination for all your live events. Most all of them will be starting the countdown to green roughly at 6:35. Green flag usually drops somewhere around 7:25 p.m. 20 more laps around here. We're just almost into an hour into this race. We've got 80 laps completed. We've got a 20-lap shootout here at New Hampshire. This could go quick if we go green flag the rest of the way. Galusha's probably liking this. We talked to him earlier. He said that he was not good on long runs. This kind of plays out in his favor right now, sitting in P4 right now, the second row. A lot of teammates up here. 2, 3, and 4, all teammates. Lewis, Galusha, and Fly. Szerzynski runs in the 5th position. Paul Negus in the 6th position. Patrick Day has rebounded from earlier incident up to the 7th position. And Grant Clark in the 8th position. 9th is Nathan Davis. And 10th is Harold Routh. Cloud cover now sets over the track as the 42 has the command in the Geico restart zone. Flagman is waving. Three wide on back in here with Nate Davis. Patrick Day this gets a little tight right there for Patrick Day. He gets sandwiched there in the middle. It's 3 wide down the front stretch. Boy, that got real tight real quick for Patrick Day. I imagine he clenched some cheeks on that one. As I was here thinking, not again. Here we go. Ryan Palmer in there. There's contact and another wreck and several cars going everywhere. Oh, man. Cars everywhere as caution flags out and cars just not slowing down, and that causes more chaos as we're under caution once again here. Take a look at the replay. As here is your replay. Take a look at a chopper view or our drone view of the 24 Patrick Day. Andrew Thornton to the inside. Andrew Thornton just didn't realize, I don't think he realized they were 3 wide, and Thornton comes up into the 24, and that was that. A lot of fans on attendance for this one here at New Hampshire, and they've seen an action-packed, a lot of wrecks in this one, a lot of cautions in this one, as 84 laps down of a 100-lap race, getting closer to the end of this one. Right there, that 06, the Canadian, Grant Clark up 19 spots into the 7th position. Great run for that 06 machine. Getting closer to the end of this one. Timothy Lewis leading this race. We go back to green. Not very many more laps to go. Will Timothy Lewis be able to hold on for the win? He's had a really good car. It's been solid up front. He does have a Nick Galusha behind him that is good on short runs. So this will be, I would consider this a short run, dash to the end. Paul Fly, his teammate, runs in that 3rd position. Kyle Wellman in the 4th position. Paul Negus in the 5th. 6th is Alex Szerzynski. 7th is Grant Clark. 9th is Harold Ralph. 8th is Harold Ralph. 9th is Nathan Davis. 10th is Ernie Williams Jr. Cracks the top 10 up 14 spots. So Ernie Williams looking good here late in this race. He was the Daytona 500 winner. The Daytona 125. That's hard to say it sometimes. Sam Reed into the 11th position. Byron Gay runs 12th. 13th is Stephen Polacek. 11th runs Larry Bell. He's up 11 spots, so good for him. Good to see him inside the top 15. Craig Bridge in the 07. He runs in that 15th position. 16th is Patrick Day. 17th is Ryan Palmer. 18th is Steve Miller. 19th is John Ott. 20th is scored Andrew Thornton. That's your top 20. Chris Miller looks like he's got that truck repaired a little bit. Got a few scrapes down that 69 number. Alright, lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. Ready to go, green flag here. Maybe for the last and final time. And if it's not, well, there may be some decisions to be made in pit road. Lewis, Galusha, Fly, and Wellman is your top 2 rows. Paul Fly drives it in there hard to take over that second position from Galusha. Galusha now has pressure from Kyle Wellman. Wellman looking to the inside of him. Not able to do anything yet. Ernie Williams Jr. up to 8th on the outside there. Here comes the 06 of Grant Clark. Puts it in there hard right in front of the 11. Was able to make that one stick, but Ernie Williams is just in front of him. He is up to 8th, now up 16 spots. So he is a big mover in this one as well. Grant Clark now to the inside of him. Looking to take that position away from Ernie Williams Jr., your Daytona 125 winner. Back up front, getting heated up here. Paul Fly right to the back bumper of the 41. Really had to hit the brakes hard as he came right up to the back bumper of Timothy Lewis real quick.
How you doing, Ryan?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Disqualified out of this one for me.
Grant Clark, Patrick Day, disqualified out. What happened?
Yeah, I got rear-ended twice early in the race. Paul hit me coming off one turn, and then, of course, that 3 wide there. So that was 16, and then coming into the green there, the guys just stopped in the outside lane. I touched them in the rear, and that was 17.
And that was all she wrote. As race up front just continues to heat up as Paul Fly starts to close in on his teammate. Galusha now to the back bumper of Paul Fly. This team has been pretty good up front so far. Lewis, Fly, and Galusha. Wellman falling off just a little bit in the 4th position. Paul Negus runs in the 5th position. Harold Ralph starting to come back into the 7th position. Ernie Williams Jr., your Daytona 125 winner, up into the 8th position as your caution flag waves out on the speedway.
Yeah, so this race is definitely tailor-made. The way it's been going is tailor-made for the Rat Bastard racing there. Not enough green flag runs to have the guys that save their tires have any effect here.
So this seems to play out just perfect for them as we'll take a look and see what will drivers do. No one's going to pit. Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman, the sole guy that's coming down pit road right now. Nate Davis is going to join him. Larry Bell is going to join him. So Kyle Wellman gives up in that 4th position late in this race. Patrick Day, was that the right move?
It was not. This is definitely a track position type of track. Yeah, so 4th place, yeah, I would not have gone out of that. The fact is, when I pitted, with less than 50 to go, whatever I had is what I had.
All right, so there you have it. Patrick Day not thinking that was the right move. We will find out if that was the right move for Kyle Wellman, Larry Bell, and it may have been the right move for Larry Bell as he was on back into the pack. Nate Davis was a little bit further back, so it may have been the right move for them, but for that 4th position, is he able to get back to that 4th position will be the question. He is currently scored in the 17th spot is what I'm reading out.
Yeah, Timmy Lewis, Paul Fly, and Nick Galusha are going to be very, very, very hard to beat. If they don't take each other out, I think that's your 1, 2, 3 right there.
So
we'll see what happens.
So you're saying that they tend to go after it. They want that win, no matter at all cost.
Nick Galusha definitely. Timmy, not as much, but the way this race has been going, I think he's altered his driving style for this race. So yeah, he's running a good race. I think he's going to pull it out. We'll see what happens. Nick's going to be pretty aggressive here. So we'll see what happens on this restart.
Your buddy Grant Clark back here, up 18 spots, biggest mover in this race, into the 8th position, up 18 spots. Running a good race for him. Yeah,
Grant's been doing good. He's been complaining about as much as I have with some of the driving out there. We definitely need to clean it up as a group. hopefully, a few races in, we'll get better at it, right? So there's got to be a lot more give and take. This is not a 3-wide track, but you've been seeing a lot of 3-wide. But yeah, he's been doing good, keeping clean as he can, letting guys go, trying to just, keep his spot as best he can without losing too much as well, right? Saving his tires.
You're exactly right. It is not a 3-wide track. It's hard enough to go around this track and be okay, and then you put 3 wide in there. Man, it's looking for disaster, and a lot of times it's mistakes like that's causing the issues. And we've seen one where a car didn't realize that they were 3 wide and came up, and well, that kind of hurts you.
Yep, it happens a lot. Let's see what happens on this restart here.
Timothy Lewis, Paul Fly, Nick Galusha, and Negus. There's your top 2 rows, I should say. And Szerzynski on back here trying to pounce on him late in this race. We're looking for the green flag here.
Kyle Emmons starting 15th. Let's see what he does.
Galusha drives it in there hard underneath the 94 machine. Looking to make that stick. One back behind there. That's a good race with Alex Szerzynski and Negus. Negus takes that position away. So move the 52 up into the 4th position. And they're on doors back here with Howard, Ralph, and Szerzynski. They were rubbing. Grant Clark now 3 wide down the front stretch with Sam Reed and Ryan Palmer. Ryan Palmer comes down on him. And there they go. Unfortunate for some of those drivers right there, especially Grant Clark having a great race, and they were 3 wide back there coming out. They had to go for it, only a few laps to go, and that is a dagger for Grant Clark.
It looked like, I'm sorry to say, but it looked like Grant thought he was going to clear him and went up. So I would say that is kind of on Grant there. Yeah.
We will take a look at that. We'll go back and we'll try to get our drone view at that and see. As the 06 is very much under power right now, as he had some heavy contact there. Here it is. Man, he got just about turned by Sam Reed there in the exit of 3 and 4. Yep. And the 10 started to come down as well, so let's go back. Let's take a look at that one more time. And also, let's look at the turn before that as the 06 just about got dumped there. Here it is. 06, and what a great save right there. And here it is, a little bit of slow-mo. You've got the 10 car on the outside. You got the 55 in the middle. As they come down to the stripe here, let's see what happens. The 10 car starts to roll down off the wall just a little bit, and there he clips the 55, and the 55 comes down into the 06 machine. So all 3 of them hit the wall very, very hard.
I believe Grant, yeah, it was kind of a racing incident. I retract what I said. Grant that wasn't his fault, but it was kind of a squeeze type of thing that happened there. But I think he saved his fast repair, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see.
Grant Clark, you can see him right there, under power drastically. So, this should set us up for a very interesting green-white checkered here with Timothy Lewis, Paul Fly, Nick Galusha. Paul Negus took over that 4th position. He'll be starting on the outside of row number 2. Alex Szerzynski, Ernie Williams Jr. into the 7th position, up 17 spots. Byron Gay into the 8th position, up 6 spots. Let's see if we can talk to Timothy Lewis. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, we got a green-white checker here. How aggressive is your teammates going to be on you here, or are they going to leave you alone and get you let you have this win?
I think they're going to be pretty aggressive here. I just got to get a good start and make sure I get out in front of them, and hopefully that we can just ride together and we'll see who wins.
All right. Good luck to you, as you definitely need to win here after a rough outing there at Daytona. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, you heard it there, Patrick. He knew it. They're going to be aggressive. They're going after the win. So the team is out the window now. It's every man for themselves here. The 41, the 94, the 20, and the 52, your front two rows.
Yeah, it's just like Daytona, what I mentioned in the countdown to green at Daytona. When there's less than 10 laps to go, teammates kind of go out the window, right? So those guys race each other hard, even though they are teammates. So let's watch the fireworks. It's going to be a good finish here.
All right, lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. It's on the command of that 41 machine in the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Green flag. Galusha gets a really good start. Now looking to the inside of the 41. He'll try to drive it in there hard. The 41 does. The 20 goes to the inside of Fly, and he tries to clear his teammate, and he does. Galusha now to the inside of Timothy Lewis. Wow, it's going to be a good drag race down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Alex Trzynski has taken the position away from the 52, but we'll keep it here with the 41 and the 20. White flag. One final more trip around New Hampshire. Here comes Alex Trzynski to the inside of Paul Fly. 23 looking for that podium position. The 41 holds steady right now. Lewis looking to take victory as cars start to spin in the back. We're going to finish this one up. Harold Ralph was the one that went around. Vegas was involved as well. He'll drop a few positions. Timothy Lewis out of turn number 4, coming for the checker flag. Timothy Lewis is going to win. Nick Galusha is going to ground out in the 2nd position. Paul Fly comes home in that 3rd position. Alex Trzynski. Byron Gay comes home in the 5th position. Ernie Williams in the 6th position, up 18 spots for Ernie Williams. Wow, what a good finish for him after being the Daytona 125 winner.
Kyle Willman went from 15th to 6th there at the end. So he lost a couple spots from where he was. Maybe he felt his tires were worn down and felt he was going to do better with new tires. So good on him for getting the spots he did.
Yep, you were definitely right that wasn't the right move for him, as he did drop from that 4th position to the 7th position. So Timothy Lewis, you can see him there doing his donuts there on the front stretch. That 41 machine. All right, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll definitely have your winner. We'll try to queue up Nick Galusha and Paul Fly, your top 3 finishers here at New Hampshire.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everything.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
All right, welcome back to New Hampshire as we have just concluded the 100 laps here, and Timothy Lewis gets the victory. His teammate Nick Galusha comes home second, and a teammate, Paul Fly, comes home third. It's a clean sweep for that team, 1, 2, and 3. We'll start with that winner, and that is Timothy Lewis gets the victory. First victory on the season. Check that off the box. Timothy, you ran a great race. What was it like racing your teammates up for the lead?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting it for a little bit there because some of them went to the back and, you know, everything got jumbled up once we started pitting, but it was fun having them up there with me at the end.
Was there any chance that Galusha was going to get to you? He got a good restart there, got to your back bumper, just not able to get underneath you. Could you hear him back there? Could you see him back there? Was you worried about him?
Oh, I was definitely worried about him. I was looking in my mirror, and he was right on me coming out of 2 there, and I kind of cleared him down the back stretch and got a good run in 3 and 4, and from there on we were good. So,
well, I know I haven't known you guys very much, and I haven't known this team, but I'm just wondering, could a bump and run been in the play for Galusha?
Oh yeah, definitely. I could have definitely seen him doing that. I would have accepted it though. We do it in everything. We race all the time, so I gotta accept that.
Timothy, congratulations on the victory. You definitely needed it after a rough Daytona 125. I imagine you got some sponsors out there you need to take care of.
Yeah, John Bartlam Heating and Cooling. I had Volkswagen, and that's about it. But
well, congratulations again to you. We'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, congrats, Timmy.
All right, we're going to move on to Nick Galusha. As Nick Galusha, do you got a copy there?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Nick, you came home in second. You gave it your all there on that restart. Got a great restart. Just wasn't able to get that nose underneath the 41. I asked the 41 if you got your nose there, would he have gave the bump and run there? And he said, absolutely. Was that your plan?
I don't know. Maybe if it came down to the last corner, but I fell off there at the end. I just overdrove the one corner and couldn't quite get to him. But yeah, I got a good restart, and luckily I got by Paul pretty easy, but Timmy, I knew it was going to be a battle.
So you finished second here, a clean sweep for your team. That has to be pretty exciting, 1, 2, and 3. We move on for next week to Chicagoland. How do you feel your chances there at Chicagoland?
That's not one of my favorites on the schedule, I can tell you that. So I'm just hoping for a top 10 and just stay consistent with the season.
All right, thanks for letting me know that insight. Unfortunately, Patrick's here and everybody else in the world knows that we're not going to pick you as my top 3 for next week. But
I'm feeling Nick will surprise you.
Okay.
Good win. Good run, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week. We're going to queue up Paul Fly now. Paul Fly, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Paul, you come home in the 3rd position. I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked the other 2. Nick was there in that 2nd position. If he had a chance to get up into the back bumper of the leader of Timothy Lewis, would he have gave the bump and run? I'm going to ask you that same question. I need to know about this team. What kind of team is it? If that chance was there and you was to the back bumper of him, would you gave him the bump and run?
Oh, for sure. I think all 3 of us would. We all race together. We race in real life too, so like we all know the deal. Short track racing. We're gonna do it clean. We're not trying to really wreck anybody. And again, I'm so sorry, Patrick. Didn't mean to get loose and turn you out of there early. I was hoping we could be racing together at the end. But yeah, we're really aggressive especially when we're around each other. But we'll be clean at the end of the day.
And so we move on from this one. You got yourself a top 3. Got to feel good about that. We're going to Chicagoland. I asked Nick how he fares there. I ask you, how do you fare there?
Oh, I know Nick's not good at saving tires, so he'll probably be done after about lap 6 or 7 there, but I'm not too good either. I'll probably be done around 12 or 13, and then Patrick and Timmy will pass us, and we'll see where we end up. I think somewhere in the top 5, hopefully, but we'll see.
Okay, so maybe I'm seeing a trend here. If one's not good, the rest of you may not be good there. So maybe I shouldn't pick Paul Fly either for next week. I don't know. We'll see on that. But congratulations again on that podium position. Has to feel good. And another check off the box. You got yourself a podium finish.
Yeah, solid run again, and thanks for putting this on. This is a blast race every Wednesday night. It gives us something to look forward to during the off season, so it's fun. Thanks again.
All right, that was Paul Fly. He finishes in the 3rd position. Looking down that standings there, Patrick, I want you to pick out a shocker. I'm going to pick out a shocker here. I did not see this coming. Not that he's not a good driver. I just did not see him inside the top 5, and that is Byron Gay.
Yeah, Byron ran a good race. He came by me early in the race when I was kind of in tire saving mode. But yeah, he was getting on it like the guys up front were. So, this race kind of tailor-made for him as well. A lot of cautions. So, you could run hard and then caution come out, let your tires cool. And you can run hard, caution come out, let your tires cool. So yeah, Byron's a good racer. So yeah, that surprises me, but it really doesn't surprise me with the way the race played out.
Yeah, and another guy that we didn't speak a lot throughout the entire broadcast, seemed like he was in the back most of the race. Steven Polacek comes home in the 10th in that 92 machine. Had a rough outing there at Daytona. Comes home in the top 10. He has to be pretty happy about that one.
Oh, definitely. I think he came in late, too, so I think he had to start from the pit, so he got it down a lap early. And then he got him back onto the cautions. So, yeah, definitely great top 10 by him. That was a good hard race by him.
Now we talk about Steve Miller. He finished 8th at Daytona. He comes in here and finishes 15th. Not too bad for him, considering there's 27 cars in the field. So a 15th for him. He probably tickled pink about that one.
Yeah, as much as we heard that he was practicing, I think he felt that he was going to do better. But no, that's a solid run by him. He stayed pretty clean the whole night. Stayed out of trouble and brought her home on the lead laps. That's a good deal.
I'd say the biggest disappointment of tonight, and he's probably not too happy right now, packing that hauler up, is Paul Negus, as he was inside the top 5. It seemed like all day long, and then that late just racing incident, and Paul Negus goes to the inside, and he finishes out 14th.
Yeah, he was quick too. Victim of circumstances, so yeah, it happens. I mean, you look at me, same thing with me. Get hit in the rear 2 times for 8X, and then get involved in a couple incidents of none of my doing, and here I am disqualified and finishing, down the field in 22nd. So it can happen.
Absolutely, and as we talked earlier, we will be heading to Chicagoland. That is November 8th. That's next Wednesday. Check out the Countdown to Green show starting at 6:35 p.m. and then the drop of the green flag somewhere around 7:25 for Chicagoland. That's about all we've got here. As thank you for tuning in to Tarmac Esports.